we don't set up under the new constitution with a sense of bitterness, with a sense in which we are so bitter we can't let go this kind of thing. So I share that sentiment that whether now or before the new president takes office, a time must come when, if this is confirmed all through, Raila Odinga then must be prepared to call his colleague and give that kind of indication to the nation.
No, in my persuasion, Wakili, I should think that he does not really have to wait until beyond today. I should think he should be able to give a statement today of whichever kind, because then in so doing, therefore, he may be creating more tension. He should as much as possible.
We must now cross over live, of course, to that location, the Catholic University. We are expecting Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto to address the Kenya and the world shortly. In just a couple of moments, we are expecting, as I have mentioned, and as the world well knows, that Uhuru Kenyatta will be addressing. But here we are, Prime Minister Raila Odinga making an address. Let's listen in. We're doing our best to handle that sound issue. That was Prime Minister Raila Odinga of the Accord Alliance. Certainly he ran a good race in this election. We all want to know what it is he has to say. Let's cross back to the Jubilee Nerve Center, if you like, and listen in.
I am, however, the two of my other members of the summit, S.K. Macharia and Honorable Moses Wetangula here, and several other members elect of either Parliament or the Senate. First, my statement is titled, Democracy is on Trial. Democracy on Trial in Kenya. I want to begin by thanking the Kenyan people for exercising their democratic right on the 4th of this month to turn out overwhelmingly to vote in the last elections. I also want to thank particularly those Kenyans who voted for me and my running mate in these elections. Even those who voted against me exercise their democratic right. But fellow Kenyans, members of the media, we again stand at a very pivotal moment in our history. You have created a new Kenya out of the ashes of the one that was nearly destroyed by the terrible violence which followed the tainted elections of 2007. It took 5 long years to rebuild this beautiful country and foster reconciliation among those divided and traumatized by the events of the 2007-2008. Our people have passionately embraced an unprecedented new order of reforms and economic vibrancy that will deliver a more prosperous and equitable society contained in a new constitution that is the envy of the world. And so, last Monday, the 4th of March, we all watched with utter gratitude the massive turnout as Kenyans waited patiently amidst hours-long delays to fulfill their desire to vote for the people they want to lead them. Despite the hiccups the IEBC experienced in implementing a smooth and transparent run-up to the election day, Kenyans were convinced that the IEBC would translate their faith in democracy into a completely credible election which would unite the country. What Kenyans witnessed instead was the failure of virtually every instrument the IEBC had deployed for the election. the poll book, the servers, the telephonic transmission, the electronic voter identification kits, they all failed despite the billions spent on acquiring them. 2 days after the vote, the electronic tallying was discarded and counting began afresh manually. That too turned out to be a flawed exercise in which, among other things, there was massive tampering with the IEBC final register of voters. The tallying process at Bomas of Kenya began with our agents being expelled from the center, thereby making the mandatory verification of results impossible. Voter registration numbers were reduced in our strongholds and added to the Jubilee strongholds. To give just one example, in Dhiwa constituency, the number of voters listed in the IEBC final register was different from that captured in the votes and election results that IEBC announced. At the same time, other constituencies saw the numbers of registered voters rise. On Friday, the IEBC announced the results of the presidential vote for Laikipia constituency. But the Laikipia North results had already been announced by the IEBC the day before. That is the same constituency. See, the figures in the Friday announcement gave me, the court presidential candidate, and my Jubilee opponent different figures from the ones announced a day earlier. What caused the difference? This is not the time to point to other examples of rampant illegality. That time will come. There had been a massive public investment in the IEBC to ensure that this first post-2007 election would firmly entrench democracy and the rule of law. The commissioners crisscrossed the world to study how our best Kenyans would have a credible election, which would allow them to support their new president, whether they voted for him or not. Now, it is clear that the constitutionally sanctioned process of electing a new set of leaders to take us to the next level has been thwarted by another tainted election. This is not the IEBC that Kenyans and Judge Kriegler envisioned. This crisis is not just about the IEBC. It's a crisis in the very workings of the faith that Kenyans have placed in their institutions to respect their democratic rights and the rule of law. It is democracy that is on trial. As we said repeatedly during the campaign, we would have readily conceded if the IEBC had attempted to deliver a reasonable, honest elections. Or even if it had addressed the serious concerns that the court team led by the Vice President formally presented to the Commission 3 days ago. We only want to lead if Kenyans want us to. We have no other vested interests. And if Kenyans don't want us, we don't want to impose ourselves in the will of the people of Kenya. Both Judge Kriegler and the ECK chairman, the late Samuel Kivitu, acknowledged that it was not possible to know who won the 2007 election. We thought this would never happen again. It most regrettably has happened. But this time, you have a new independent judiciary in which we in court and most Kenyans have faith. It will uphold the rule of law and will abide by its decisions. We will therefore shortly move to court to challenge the outcome that the IEBC announced a few hours ago. We want to appeal to all Kenyans to respect the rule of law and the Constitution of which they are so proud. Let the Supreme Court determine whether the result announced by the IEBC is a lawful one. We are confident that the court will restore the faith of Kenyans in the democratic rule of law. Any violence now could destroy this nation forever. That would not serve anyone's interest. Please, therefore, look upon each other as brothers and sisters whose national bond should not be broken. Thank you, and God bless Kenya. Ningependa kuongeza kwa Kiswahili. Kwanza kushukuru wa Kenya kwa kujitokeza kwa wengi vile walifanya tarehe 4 mwezi huu kupiga kura. Nataka kutoa shukrani kwa wale wa Kenya ambao walitupiga kura, mimi na mgombea mwenza wangu Mheshimiwa Kalonzo Musyoka. Wakenya walionyesha kwa vitendo kwamba wana imani na katiba mpya ambayo walipitisha miaka 2 iliyopita. Tulikuwa tunadhani ya kwamba yale ambayo tulipitia mwaka wa 2008 tulikuwa tumeweka nyuma yetu. Tulikuwa tunatarajia ya kwamba tume ya uchaguzi ambayo tuliunda itakuwa tofauti na ile ambayo tulikuwa tumezika kwenye kaburi la sahau. Lakini kwa bahati mbaya hii tume ya uchaguzi imerudia na ikafanya makosa yale yale ambayo iliyafanywa na ile tume ambayo tulipeleka nyumbani. Tumeona vioja, tumeona mambo mingi ambayo ilifanyika siku ile ambayo kura ilikuwa inapigwa. Kwanza vifaa ambayo zilinunuliwa kwa gharama kubwa ya kusaidia kwa upigaji wa kura kwa urahisi, zikiharibika moja baada ya ingine, mpaka baadaye wakarudia kufanya kura kienyeji vile walifanya mwaka 5 iliyopita. Hiyo ndio Judge Kriegler ambaye alifanya uchunguzi alisema tusirudie tena, tutumie vifaa vya kisasa kwa upande ya usajilishaji wa kupiga kura na vile vile kwa kupiga kura. Lakini Wakenya waliona vyombo vivyo vote vikivunjika kwa sababu ilikuwa imepangwa ifanyike hivyo. Baadaye wakarudi kufanya kila kitu kienyeji, ambayo matokeo ilikuwa inabadilishwa hapa na pale kabla haijafika katika ukumbi ya kujumlisha kura zote hapa Bomas of Kenya. Kwa hivyo sisi tunasema ati hatutaki kulazimisha Wakenya na uongozi. Sisi ni watumishi na tunataka tu kuongoza kama Wakenya wanataka, lakini tunataka kuona kama Wakenya wampea fursa na ile uamuzi yao imeshimika. Lakini yale ambayo yamefanyika haijadhihirisha haki na ukweli. Kwa hivyo sisi tumesema hatutambui kamwe ili uamuzi ambayo umetangazwa siku ya leo na mwenyekiti wa tume ya uchaguzi wa Kenya. Tofauti na miaka 5 iliyopita, sasa tuko na mahakama ambayo tuna imani nayo. Kwa hivyo tumesema mara hii tutaenda mbele mahakama, tutapeleka kesi yetu mbele mahakama, na tuna hakika tutasikizwa na uamuzi itatolewa na mahakama, na sisi tutaheshimu uamuzi wa mahakama yetu. Kwa hivyo tungependa kuambia wafuasi wetu wote kote ambayo wako Kenya hii wawe watulivu, wavumilie. Maana yake wanasema mvumilivu hula mbivu. Watulie, tutafanya mambo haya kwa njia ya haraka kabisa na uamuzi itatolewa. Kama vile itatoka, sisi zote tutaheshimu. Tungependa vile vile kuhimiza wenzetu kujiepusha na ghasia yoyote. Hatutaki kuona kama Wakenya wanapigana kwa sababu ya hii matokeo. Hatutaki fujo, hatutaki uharibifu wa mali au ghasia wowote. Tuwe watulivu na tupendane kama Wakenya mpaka tutakupata uamuzi kutoka kwa mahakama. Asanteni na Mungu ibariki Kenya. Yes.
Madam Prime Minister, my name is Geoffrey Musoko from The Standard. You said that the court coalition has been complaining to IPC on the process of tallying the results. I want to know if you did complain formally. Did IPC respond? And if they did not respond, what explanation did they give?
We have made several complaints in writing and acknowledged by IBC also in writing through signatures that they received those complaints. There are several. It's a dossier at each and every stage. First, when we sent our agents to the tallying center, and they started tallying, they finished 16 constituencies, and they found discrepancies in 5 of them. Massive discrepancies, including 110, 120% overvoting on those days. And when they asked the IBC how they intended to deal with those irregularities, of course they said they wanted to deal with them as a commission. The agents insisted that the decision needed to be taken there and then. They retreated into a room, only to come back and order all our agents out of the room. Thereafter, they closed themselves in the room and were supposedly tallying themselves and announcing results and only handing copies